to tell you when about divorced. So what Bible says about divorced is in Luke 16:18. Anyone who divorced his wife and marries another woman commit adultery, and the man who marries a divorced woman commit adultery. So you know if somebody's um you know giving divorce to his wife, or wife is giving to divorce to the husband because of the other woman or man, they are committing adultery. And if somebody's married divorced woman, they are committing adultery too. So um and another is 1 Corinthians 7:15. Yet if the unbelieving lives, let him live, or the brother or sister is not under bondage in such a cases, but God has called us to be in peace. So in this is saying, if you know if husband and wife, when in a husband and wife, if somebody's unbelieving, like um, if the wife is not believing in a God, um, no any religion, like atheist, and one person is believing in God, then if they are agreed to live with each other, stay together, then they should live with each other. But if any unbelieving spouse, like somebody who is not believing in God, and that person wants to leave, they don't want to stay in a marriage, then they can leave. So so they can leave, let them go if they wants to leave, because we are called in a peace. Nobody can live forcefully. So that God is saying that. So in the Old Testament, like Moses allowed a man to give a divorce to the spouse for two reasons. Is one is the if your spouse is committing adultery, like having affair with other person, then in a Bible it's allowed for the divorced. Like God is disagree with the divorced, because God don't hate like divorced people, but God hates the divorced, because that's ending of the relationship. And it's uh, what divorce does to people. When somebody get divorced, it's like if you see their condition, it's very heartbreaking. They get into worst condition, and they are like um, it's a very emotional breakdown. They hardly come out of it. So this thing happened to me personally. I'm saying that I also had a divorce one time. So it's very, very hard to come out of it on you, and it may leads you to bad direction. Suicide is happening in that too, because of the marriage, because it affects your mind, it's everything. It's everything you connected with that person. So it's very hard. So that's why God hates the divorced, but he loves the divorced people. So so God is allowing, like Moses is allowing divorced to two people is who is committing adultery, having affairs. And if the person having an unbelieving spouse, and that person wants to leave, don't want to stay in the relationship, then that person can have a divorce. So two people can have. So um, so that's the in the Bible. And now and one more thing. Why people give a divorce? The reason is it's in the Bible that your hardness of heart. That's why divorce happen. Okay, now I want to go ahead for the widows. I want to give this message to them. It's a First Corinthians 7:39. A woman is bound to her husband as long as he lives. But if her husband dies, she is free to marry anyone she wishes, but he must belong to the Lord. If the husband uh, die, then she's free to marry somebody, but he must belong to the Lord.